Hard Cut fam, what's good? What's good? Quick tips before you start a bully kennel, man. Let me give you some quick tips. I got let me get my girl here. Got my girl Diamond in here to help us out. Say what's up, Diamond. Diamond is a lilac pocket, one of our foundation females. I wish y'all could see how straight this dog is. This is my girl Diamond. Getting ready to get her ears cut tomorrow. With that. All right. What type of bully are you trying to start with? What class of bully are you trying to start with? There's exotics, there's standards, there's pockets, there's XLs. And can you handle the class of bully that you're starting with? Because if you have 2 or 3 XL bullies running around the yard, can you handle it if they get into a fight? Are you prepared to do whatever you have to do to stop that fight from happening? Because it's going to be vicious. Do you have the area for something that large? There's a lot of things you need to ask yourself before you start a bully kennel. 2 dogs is not a bully kennel. You know, if you just talking about getting a couple good dogs and you think you're going to spend a $500 on 2 dogs and then you're going to sell the puppies for $10,000 a piece and get rich, you're mistaken. It's not going to happen that way. So if you're just talking about getting 2 dogs, you're not talking about getting a kennel. This really is not what I'm talking about for you. But maybe down the line, you may graduate to the area of starting a kennel. So then you should take a listen to this tape. I can tell you how I got my first bully and how I actually, even how my first bully got bred, which is a crazy story, how I actually got started in the bully game. So, you know, I'll tell you that later on down the line. But first, we're going to try to go through all of the specifics to give some people some real detail. What's your vision? What are you trying to do? Whatever your vision is with this, you need to stick with that. It's going to be all types of different looks and different classes and styles, colors, all that. What is your vision? Based on that vision, you got to decide which pups you're going to buy and which dogs you're going to buy. And that's a big part of it. So your vision has to stay solid. So it has to be solid enough from the beginning for you to make this plan play out. What are you going to do to make the breed better? Do you see something that you think is a fault, that you think that you can fix? Is the bully not performing the way you want it to perform? What is it that you think that you're going to do with the puppies that you're going to make? Because that's what a breeder is. You're actually a genetic physics. And you're doing a lot of genetics with dogs, and you need to understand what your purpose of that is. As you could make some dogs that can't function well, can't breathe well, have heart murmurs. So you could start doing stuff that's dog abuse. So what is your vision? Because your vision is going to be is a lot, and you got to be able to stick to it. Are you starting with a male or a female? A female is going to take about 2 years before that female can start breeding and producing pups so you can start making some money back. The male is going to be able to stud out in 9 to 10 months, depending on how much you market it. You might make a little bit of money in 9 to 10 months. But you're going to need some pups on the ground. So right off, you won't make a lot of money. But after you got some pups on the ground, you can show its production. You could be making money off of that male within a year and a half. You can be making some pretty decent money. A couple years later, you start really making some money. 3 years down the line, you really make some money because you can progressively show these are the dogs that he produced. You can show them as they get older and older. I'm trying to pay attention to my pup, to Diamond over here so she don't mess up. She's getting her first week of puppy training. Come here, girl. That's my baby there. But you should be able to make some money off of the stud, you know, pretty quickly. But the thing is getting production on the ground as quick as possible. So you might go somewhere and do a puppy deal, or puppy bag deal, or whatever you have to do to start getting production that you can show what he does, so that you can start getting more money for his services. So it might take him 2 years to really get some money, is what I'm saying. But the female, for sure, she's not getting no money the first 2 years, because you need to go over the first heat before you breed her. So 8 to 12 months, you're going to have the first heat. You're going to have to wait to the next one. So it might take you 2 years, 2.5 years, before you start seeing some money back from the female. How much money do you have to spend on your foundation? Because if you go with a female, it's going to have to be a bad female. Female is 65% of the genes of the pup, especially the stud pup. She's 65% of the genes of a male pup. The female pup, she's 50-50 with the father. So you need a real good female, and that's going to you need the top of the pick of all the dogs. So you're talking about $35,000, $10,000, anywhere in that range, depending on where you at, what you find, and what kind of deal you can make. And the same with a stud. If you're gonna get a stud to start with, he got to be the best stud. He got to be Incredible Hulk. He got to be the best. He got to be the best stud. So you're gonna have to pay for him, maybe $6,500, maybe $10,000. You can find a deal, but you're gonna have to. If you're gonna start your whole program with him, you're gonna have to pay for him. And the process of finding this foundation costs money. I discovered Creed in Lone Grove, Oklahoma. It takes money to travel around, to even pick and find the right pups for your foundation. And then you got to keep them alive for the next 2 years. So, do you want to get started right now, or do you got a couple years to put into it? How much space and room do you have to do a kennel? When you would need to expand, can you? Do you want to do it indoors or outdoors? First off, you're going to do an indoor kennel, that's a change of your life. Everything's changed. Me personally, I don't want to have a bunch of kennels in my garage trying to do, start a bloodline. I just can't see it. But exotic bullies, some of these dogs cannot stand that heat. They're not going to be outside in the heat. So either they're going to have to be in the house, or you're going to have some special surgery done for their breathing in their throat so they can withstand this heat. With that being said, you might be stuck with it. If you're going to do exotics, you're going to have a building that's air conditioned and a lot of little kennels to keep them in. That's part of the class type style bully that you pick to breed. If you had XLs, you might have got away with an outside kennel or a pocket. But with it being exotic, they're just not going to be able to stand the heat and the temperatures like that. So you're going to have to get them inside. I'm just knocking my camera around. Would you cut it out? It's a generational process. If you have a vision, you need to start out with your foundation. Now, the foundation, we'll go into that later. But you need to have a vision and a foundation to start with. And that's going to take some money and time and space. So after that foundation is built and they start to producing, do you have enough space to expand for this next generation, which might be where your bloodline actually starts? It's where you actually started producing. It might be where your bloodline actually starts to look the way that it needs to look. Do you have the time and space and money to expand for the next generation? Do you know how to pick a pup for a foundation pup? If you don't know how to pick a pup, you need to go look at my video on how to pick the correct pup. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, you need right now go subscribe to the channel. Come on in off the bench for the big win, man. We're growing like by leaps and bounds, man. We blowing by. So come on in off the bench for the big win. If you ain't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button now. Ideal situation to start your camp is having 5 females. maybe a stud too. But that's gonna really cost you, what I'm saying. But 5 females you can outsource and get the stud, pay stud fees, what I'm saying. And that way you can select which stud is the best for each of these females. Instead of just having this one male that you say this is what we're gonna do. You can say, well, I think this one is best for this one. But you're gonna have to pay for the stud fee. So the ideal situation is to have 5 females. Me personally, I couldn't find 5 that I wanted. I found Supergirl Trina, which is a micro exotic. Diamond don't want. She wanted to be spoke for first, I guess. I found Hard Cut Diamond, which is a lilac pocket, and I have Black Widow. Now Black Widow is ready right now. She's already had 1 litter. She had 1 C-section, so she's ready right now. I'm just waiting for her to go in the heat. So my bully kennel can start the first year because I bought a old enough dog to start the first year. I bought a female old enough to start the first year. I already have the stud and everything made into the deal, paid for and everything already. So we're just waiting on her to go in heat. Now, if we wait a few more months, Creed will be ready. So I can just breed Creed straight to Black Widow. I'm already producing within my first year. And I still can wait for Supergirl Trina and Hard Cut Diamond. I can wait a couple more years for them to be ready to go. So that'll have Creed producing in 3 months. That'll have Black Widow producing in 3 months. That'll have Supergirl Trina and Diamond producing in 2 years. So I needed 1 more. I wanted another female, and I couldn't decide. I couldn't find another female hard cut. I mean, good structure, good feet, good bite, everything, hard cut, top pick. I couldn't find them. And I couldn't decide if I wanted something Merle or not. And I really don't think, I'm not really into Merle. It's not in my vision. So that's why I haven't really went after a Merle. So a Merle is a certain amount of money. Just because it's a Merle, you're going to get $35,000 to $5,000 a pup no matter what class or whatever it is. It's going to start there. And if it's an amazing litter, it's going to go up quick. So to counter that, I just went and got another exotic stud. And I can breed him to Supergirl Trina, or he can stud out right now. And the exotic stud and the exotic puppies is going to be the same price I can get back as buying the Merle. So I'll go the exotic route because I have Supergirl Trina already, and she's getting too small to breed the Creed, which was my original plans. Creed is double registered through BRC and ABKC. He won the BRC dog show. So Trina is under BRC. She's exotic. So he's able to breed her because he's registered under that registry too. If he wasn't under that registry, he couldn't breed too. So I've set all this up. That was part of my vision in setting up the kennel so that he would be able to breed with her. But it just turns out that he is so correct that he's really big size, and she's so correct that she's really small size, and it's just getting too far out of what I was trying to do. So I got another exotic stud. I'll breed that. So we're gonna do that breeding, see if we can stay small. But I eventually think that every female on my yard will be bred with Creed at least once. Most of the time, the females that you pick will get 4 breedings, and then you need to retire the female. So out of those 4 breedings of each female, Creed will get 1 of them because that's my main stud. Especially if he's producing, and I know he'll be producing by that time. He'll be have 2 or 3 litters already shown. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for money? Are you doing this because you really like bullies and you want to make some money? Are you doing this because you like bullies? Because if you're doing this just to make money, it's going to be a hard road for you because this comes with taking care of bullies. As soon as you buy the bully, you also the bully's agent, promoter, manager, and pooper scooper. Every day you're gonna be pooping some scooping some poop. You're gonna have to get you a wheelbarrow and some shovels. That's what because you're gonna do that. And all these bully bears you see with money and flashing cars and all that, yeah, but they janitors too. They pooper scoopers too. Maybe some down the line you'll be able to make deals with people that want pups that you can pay people to clean out the kennels. If they do it for a couple of years, they get a third pick out of the litter. Different deals like that. But that's down the line. You don't have enough going that you can sacrifice any yet. You got to get all your product. So that means you need all of your litter. So if you're doing this for money, you probably won't make it. I can show you within the first quarter of this year, I haven't made no money, but I can show you a whole list of receipts. And I'm telling you, I'm waiting on one female to go in the heat so we can maybe start making some money back. But so far, we have not made no money in the first quarter of this year. But I got a lot of receipts that paid out. Not to mention buying the whole team. I bought Supergirl, Trina, Diamond, Chucky, Creed, Black Widow. I'm not even gonna tell you what I paid, but I got the best dog, so you can imagine what I paid, buddy. So, with that being said, it's gonna be a minute before I recoup any money anyway. If I start telling y'all prices, my wife is gonna be watching this and she's gonna be tripping with me. So we ain't gonna talk about numbers right now. But if you're looking to make some money, I don't think you're gonna make no money till 4 or 5 years down the line. You're gonna produce some puppies, you're gonna get some money back, but in the overall scheme of it, after paying for all the dog food, for all the vet stuff, for the antibiotics, for all the dog treats, all of the dog toys, all the stuff you need to keep your kennel going, construction wise, all your bills. After you pay and what it costs to get the foundation dogs that you bought, it's going to take a minute to make all of that back so you can really see a profit. You might see some money in your hand in a couple years, but you're not above water yet. So is this what you really want to do? All right, so you decided you want to be a bully breeder. You understand the cost of and the way to pick foundation female or male to start with, or like I did, a whole team. And you understand that you need the space to handle that, and you need space to be able to grow when you need to, and you understand you have the money to do all of that, and you understand you might not be able to pay for no help for a few years, and that's going to seriously change how your life is, and you need to understand that you're not going to make no money for maybe 4 or 5 years. You at this point you understand all of those things, and I can say you love bullies because you still want to do this. You must have some real good dogs that you try to reproduce, and that's cool in the fan. Just keep your vision, and now research. Find out what class is the best class for you. If you get a size of dog that you can't handle, it's a danger to you and the public. So I had to make a decision, even though that's the style, that's the look I was kind of going after. I can't have 4 or 5 of them running around, especially 3 or 4 males running around. If somebody going heat, it's going to be sooner or later somebody going to argue a bone or something, or man, some kid or something run in the yard, anything could happen. You got to be able to have total control over every dog you want. I like cane corsos. I cannot breed 4 or 5 cane corsos. I know guys that got kennels, 22 dogs that got cane corsos, bullies, and Dobermans. But me personally, what I want, what I can handle with my lifestyle, I can't do that. So you have to understand who you are, what your lifestyle is, and what you can handle. The first dog I bought was a dog I bought from my cousin, just on the humbuggers. I went over the house and he had the dog sitting outside tied up. And I looked at the little, she's about a 4-month-old puppy, and it was a bully. I could tell it was a bully. She looked like a Rottweiler colors, so it must have been, it was a try. I didn't know nothing about all this at the time. I thought it was a little Rottweiler. So, anyway, he sold me the dog for $400. And I thought, I really got this. She was real bow-legged, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And she had this Rottweiler color. I'm like, man, I got a bully. Not knowing that all of this ain't going to translate good when I breed. She got easty-westy feet. She got a roach back. She got a corkscrew tail, which I really ain't tripping about the tail. She's too long, and she's very bow-legged. So she got, if you want breed stock, you need to have less than 2 flaws. So I just named off 3 or 4 flaws. She can't be breed stock. She can be a good pet though. And he sold to me for $400. That's a pet price, pimp. So after I had this dog a few years, we ended up moving and buying another house. And it just so happened this dog, the stray dog, wandered up on the house, started hanging out with my dog. And she just happened to be in heat. So they messed around. I did everything trying to run this dog off. I shot at this dog. I chased it with sticks. Everything you think of. Next day, that dog was right back out there. He started protecting the block. He started making no other dog be able to come on the block. All the stray dogs had to leave after he came over. So I did a little more little research on the dog. He had a little black line around his mouth, so I started from there. Everybody else just called him a 100-pound pit bull. Me and your dog was out with a 100-pound pit bull the other day. And I was going to go get her, but it was a 100-pound pit bull. I didn't want to mess with it. That's what people was telling me. So I know this ain't no pit bull. So I did a little research. I was like, I think this is a bully. So anyway, I'm still trying to run the dog off. And end up the dog had gotten in a car wreck or something. Came back, he limped back. He laid on the front porch at my door. It's a very big XL bully. So my wife, who I'm not gonna say hates dogs, does not like dogs at all, goes to this door, sees the dog laying here, says, "Well, he don't got nowhere to go." And I'm looking, well, this is a XL bully. We don't even know this dog. What are you suggesting we do? But anyway, we end up, y'all know what happened. We end up keeping the dog. And he did good. And they stayed there and he bred with my exotic dog. So this is an XL bully that bred to my little exotic dog. And the pups was amazing. So I put the pups on Craigslist. I had no papers on it or nothing, but I'm like, man, these are amazing pups. I'm selling as pets. Somebody called and said, where you get that dog? I think that's my brother's dog. I said, hey, this is your brother's dog. Tell him to come on and get it, because he just wandered up over here and I've been feeding him. Come get it. He showed me the papers, come to find out it's an XL bully, got pedigree papers of it, being an XL bully, and he was the owner and all this. Okay, cool, y'all come get your dog. So my friend, my cousin Sean, he like, Juice, that ain't they dog, Juice. They just trying to get it. I said, man, if that ain't they dog, this is going to be worth the price of admission. Because that dog finna act a fool if that ain't if they try to pull Okie doke, this dog go crazy. So I was sitting there waiting for that. So they pull up that night and dude come to the door and said something, and the dog just, melted. He just went straight to him. I was like, yeah, that's his dog. So anyway, this was a blessing that just came to me, and I tried to run this blessing off. and it stuck around. I shot at this blessing, did everything I could, and it couldn't get away until what was needed to be done was done. Then it went away smoothly. That's a lesson on blessings. But that's how I got into into thinking I should be a bully breeder, because the puppies that came out of there was just massive, right puppies, and everybody seen puppies like, man, did you make that? Where'd you get that? Why'd you buy? And I didn't understand that this was special. I thought, you breed two dogs, they're supposed to come out, good puppies. But that's not the deal. You need to know what you're doing to breed two dogs. This was a blessing. But out of that, I got some very large pockets. So that started my vision of getting small females and breeding them into as large a pocket or a small XL as I could to produce a large, wide, strong bone pocket like I did the first time, just with more correct dogs. I wasn't figuring on, once I got more correct dogs, it wouldn't go together no more, because the correcter they are, the small would stay small and the big would stay big. There wouldn't be no slop in them. I didn't figure that part in. So now I need to keep Trina small, which is my exotic. But my other females, Black Widow was a perfect, like 13-inch small pocket, and I believe Lilac's Diamond, she's gonna be a small pocket too. And that's all. That's what I need. Trina's gonna be exotic, so either she gonna produce exotic or she just gonna be my pet, my house pet. She's house trained and everything, and we just getting started on Diamond's training for the week. We just getting her in the house, getting her started on our training for the week. That's Hard Cut Diamond, y'all. But that's starting a bully kennel, man. This is what you should think about before you start a bully kennel. Think about these things, man. And then go get you some Hard Cut. It's on.